You take a look at this weekend, I suppose the big game, well, by name, certainly. Tottenham against Manchester United on Sunday, but it is 13th versus 14th.
That don't scream a whole lot, does it?
Amorim, ahead of the game, this is what the Manchester United coach had to say about the two clubs. Let's take a look at the odds first, shall we? Here are the odds then. Tottenham go into this one as favourites. Manchester United coming in just pretty much evens across the board. There's no real out-and-out bet there where you're going to make a lot of money. This is what Amorim had to say ahead of the game when asked to compare the two clubs. He says, I'm a huge fan of Ange Postecoglou. I can understand the connection between me and Ange. We have the same problems. With all due respect, I'm in a bigger club with bigger pressure. Well, I don't think many will argue that Manchester United's a bigger club than Spurs. Don and Frank with us. Don, isn't it weird? Spurs, Manchester United, you think, two quality Premier League sides from over the years going head-to-head. Am I being a bit negative in that it's difficult to get too excited about this?
I know what you mean, but I think you should, because I think there'll be loads of goals and I think there'll be chaos because you're looking at two bad sides. So you're looking at two bad sides that will actually produce a chaotic game with hardly any defending, that both teams will concede goals. I'm not sure where Man United score lots of goals, by the way, so the scoreline's a bit unpredictable because you're looking at a team in Tottenham that have won 1 win in 8. Man United won 2 wins in 8, but one of their wins was against Southampton at home when Southampton should have been 4-0 up at half-time. Ruben Amorim is... who does he play up front? He played Kobbie Mainoo as a false 9 a couple of weeks ago, and that clearly didn't work as well.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying, but there's something about Ruben Amorim when he speaks. I'm like watching him thinking, please be quiet, please be quiet, please be quiet, stop talking, stop talking.
It's like watching this show, Don.
Well, I know, but if you're a journalist, you say to him, is this the worst Man United side of all time? And he goes, yes, this is the worst Man United team of all time. Are you in a relegation battle? Yes, we're in a relegation battle. And he just gives he gives so much, but at the same time, you want him to be a little bit more, you want him to be quieter and just get the job done on the pitch, because clearly I think you're looking at two managers that massively are struggling. And all of a sudden, Amorim, he's mentioned some quotes that have not come out and probably won't come out until Monday morning, but he's mentioned, maybe he'll be relieved if it doesn't work for him, and the pressure might be off if he doesn't do a job and he ends up getting fired. So you're looking at two managers that are just desperate.
Frank?
Well, you know what I like about Amorim is that the guy is straightforward. He's fair. He says what he sees. Yeah, maybe he shouldn't because he's the head coach of a team, but he's only saying what we are seeing, and that's only the truth. So psychologically, I don't know if it helps the players. I doubt about that. But to the fans and to us, the medias, we are hearing what he's saying. And really, that's the worst Manchester United I ever seen. The results are not good. They don't know how to defend. They barely know how to attack. They're not a squad. They're not a team. So I think he's just saying what he didn't expect to see when he signed for the club. He thought it would be a reaction, but really now the player have to face the reality. After 1, 2, 3 coaches sacked, they have to face the reality. They're not good enough to play for Manchester United. That's it.
Let's take a look at everyone's predictions, shall we? Let's see what you said. Shaka, do you remember?
2-2.
No, you said 1-1, Shaka.
Close.
I said 2-2, Frank and Don. A narrow win.
Listen, this game is 13th v 14th for a reason. These are two really poor teams.
Yeah.
And while to Don's point, you may expect goals because of how poor they are, the question then becomes how many because of how poor they are. Neither team has really shown any kind of success in front of goal, regardless of who the opponent is. And it makes trying to predict what's going to happen between these two all the more difficult, because again, you're not talking about team strengths. You're trying to think about their weaknesses and how the other can make the most of those weaknesses, but knowing that they don't, it's an absolute headache. Listen, for Amorim and in terms of his point and being under more pressure, as a manager, Postecoglou's under more, just by virtue of him being there a whole lot longer. And I think we accept that Ruben Amorim has taken over the worst Manchester United team that we've seen for some time. And while he's only had a January transfer window, most notable from a Manchester United perspective is Marcus Rashford leaving. So he is able to kind of skirt some of the pressures that ordinarily come with that job. This time next year, there'll be a whole lot more expectation on him. It's just a tough one to call for all those reasons. Which is why I just kind of sit on the fence.
We talk about a game that actually matters. Manchester City taking on Newcastle.
There you go.
Both teams fighting for a place in the top four. And given what we saw with Chelsea today, both could actually go into the top four with a victory. Manchester City, of course, come into this game off the back of that defeat against Real Madrid. Frank thinks they're going to bounce back with a 1-0 win. I think they're going to get thrashed 3-1. Shaka's gone for a draw again. What have you seen in City that gives you hope that they're going to, A, keep a clean sheet and B, win this game, Frank?
I don't know. I mean, it's somehow the thought of a reaction from
everyone's running to the bookings right now.
Players.
You got for a draw, Don.
Yeah, listen, it's just because Newcastle are away from home. If this was St James's Park, I put Newcastle down as a home win every day of the week. The way Newcastle play at St James's Park and the way City give up cheap goals. I mean, when you look at those goals again, like they conceded, I mean, Kovacic trying to backheel one, really, against Real Madrid in the last minute of the game, trying to backheel a ball coming out the sky to Rico Lewis. Just get hold of the ball, man, and take a 2-2. Edison, when you're winning 2-1, has got a ball in his hand. Shaka on, though, just clear your lines. He tries to spin it like the goalkeeper spin the ball and goes for this sort of fancy kick, and he gives it straight to one of the Real Madrid players. That gets it to 2-2. Kovacic was... They just concede, like, awful goals, which you never saw in the past under Pep. You thought they were brilliant going forward, can wallop anyone 6 and 7. They've lost their sort of mojo going forward. I think Marmoush will be a great signing for them. I think I've seen him live, and you might say it's only Orient, but I was pitch side, and I actually watched him live against Orient, and his footwork and the size of him as well. He's about 6'2", 6'3", and he moves over the grass really well. He's really, really good, quick, got a trick as well. He'll be a better player next season. I just think you're looking at a Man City team who, if you said to Pep, finish the season tomorrow, just sit on the beach for 3 months and get yourself ready for a title race next season.
Club World
That's
Cup.
what you'll see.
Club World Cup, Don. No sitting on the beach. Everyone's coming here.
Ironically, actually, it might be a pre-season for Rodri. So ironically, it might be a good workout for him. So
pre-season. This is a big FIFA tournament. I don't think you're taking it very seriously, Don.
I just get the sense that if you said to Pep, your players can sit on the beach and rest up and go again and rebuild it, they'll sign the likes of Florian Wirtz, or they want to try and sign in the summer, then the rebuild will happen. So they will come against City. I just think I'm not this season. They're done for this season.